Indeed, every boy and every girl sings a cheerful song on a Tuesday morning, the 14th day of the month of December. A wonderful good morning to you, Grenada, Caribbean, Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. To you, wherever you are, I say good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Smell the coffee, smell the roses, whatever is it that rouses you in the morning time, that gets you to realize it's a brand new day and you need to do what you have to do. I'm Joseph Cordona. Say good morning to you, those of you here at home, across the region and other parts of the diaspora. We say thanks for being part of this broadcast. It's Tuesday it is, terrific Tuesday. As we continue to count down towards the holiday season, the majestic voice resonating in our heads in the morning time of Agnes Forrester. Digitally remastered by Jab Malassi Production. Indeed, let's all be merry. It is Christmas and Sydney. There's nothing that we can do other than just enjoy the season. Well, we kickstart things today with the word of the day. And the word of the day is paramount. And paramount is spelled P-A-R-A-M-O-U-N-T. And it is an adjective. Paramount, the word of the day. And by definition, it is very important or highest rank or importance. Safety is of paramount importance. Unemployment was paramount. A paramount is the paramount issue in the election. Quite interesting. Paramount could also refer to being superior to all others. Supreme. A matter of paramount importance. The word of the day, paramount. P-A-R-A-M-O-U-N-T. Let's all be happy. It's Christmas. And now the stars are shining. Moving right along, we look at some health tips of the day. I'm not sure if you've had your banana for the day, but I've had mine definitely. And for your health tips of the day, we encourage you to have at least some bananas every day. Well, the experts say that bananas, they help to reduce depression, interesting, regulate the bowel system, they reduce blood sugar, and the risk of heart disease. They help our bones grow stronger. They help individuals to quit smoking. Well, interesting. They help prevent anemia. Yeah, they provide us with energy. Reduce menstrual pain, ladies. And for all you men that have difficulties dealing with it, it powers our brains. And it helps to prevent ulcers. 10 health benefits of bananas. And I think every girl and every little boy should in fact have some bananas today. Let's get into the habits. It's Christmas. Well, let's see. Thought of the day. Let's flip to the thought of the day. Reaching our full potential. Ourselves. Plain and simple. We can all achieve our goals, reach our vision, and live our dreams. There's only one enemy that prevents us from reaching our full potential. Ourselves. If by chance or otherwise you're not reaching your full potential today, blame no one but yourself. In the meantime, we take a look at the COVID-19 dashboard, and it is all good news for us, Grenada. We have no new confirmed cases. Our total active caseload is 50, and it is going down gradually. New recoveries, 9. There is no new hospitalization cases at this time. And we can tell you that the total number of confirmed cases, 5,915. As we inch closer to the holiday season, let's just be mindful, remind ourselves to adhere to protocols. Make sure we wear our mask, sanitize, and not forgetting the social distancing protocols. It would really be heart-rending if by stroke, for whatever reason, if by reason of us just being wantonly non-compliant, we had to reverse all of the hard work that we've done over the last couple of months. When we look at the fact that just a matter of September, it didn't look that good. Christmas seemed as though it was going to be like, wow, COVID out. But here we are, and we're grateful that we've made the progress that we've made, and we have no new cases, and we're managing to keep our numbers down. That's the way we want it to be, and that is what we are going to continue to do in the morning time. It is 60 minutes onto the hour in the morning time, and the morning edition comes up next right here on Classic. For those of you in television, you get a repeat of the top stories from last evening. At 60 minutes to the hour, the morning edition comes up next right here at Classic, and we say a special good morning to those of you that's chimed in wherever you are here at home, and especially those in the diaspora. Thanks for being part of this morning exercise with us. The morning edition comes up next.
Thanks for joining us. I am Blossom Alexis Welsh with the details. Top story tonight. The Royal Grenada Police Force is investigating, and it continues to determine the nationalities of several decomposed bodies discovered on Sunday in the vicinity of Gunpoint on the sister isle of Carriacou. Let's get more details from this Rena Perry-Thomas report.
The police force confirmed that officers assigned to the Northern Division responded to a report of a drifting vessel in the vicinity of Gunpoint, Carriacou on Sunday. The boat, which was retrieved and towed to Harveyville by the Grenada Coast Guard, contained 7 decomposed adult male bodies. Officer in charge of the Community Relations Department, ACP Trevor Rodney, explained.
Officers were notified by civilian persons of a boat that is located close to Carriacou, and would have sighted that boat, went close to the boat and observed what appears to be partly decomposed bodies, human beings in that boat. And of course, the officers responded, Coast Guard together with Carriacou police officers.
In speaking to GBN, ACP Rodney said items found aboard the vessel will be used to determine the origin of the vessel and its occupants.
We found certain devices on that boat, cell phones and the GPS device that we have, of course, analyzed and help us to identify possible location from where that boat came. They were in that unusually looking boat, not one that we normally see within our areas, and that under what appears to be algae, barnacles of growing on the boat that kind of indicate that that boat has been in the water for sometime.
The cause of death will be determined by a post-mortem, which is expected to take place as soon as the bodies arrive in Grenada.
A local undertaker was given the responsibility to secure the body based on the nature of the decomposition of the bodies, and other processes would follow. The body was intended for mainland Grenada. I'm not sure if it is already there, but that was the intended destination for investigation to continue.
ACP Rodney promises to update the nation on the matter as soon as more information comes at hand. Recent news reports from the British Virgin Islands highlighted similar occurrences in other islands such as Turks and Caicos, Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago, and Aruba. Here is a piece of the report.
As investigated in the Caribbean, a critical clue may have been unfolding in the Canary Islands, a Spanish territory off the coast of West Africa. A 17-year-old girl and 2 others were rescued after spending an estimated 22 days out on the open water. Speaking with the British Broadcasting Corporation, the rescued teen named Aisha said that she departed her home in the West African country of Mauritania aboard a blue and white fishing boat in early April in the company of over 50 men, women, and children. Their destination, the Canary Islands. However, the boat she was traveling in drifted off course and into the Atlantic Ocean. Within days, the group had run out of food, water, and fuel. Out of options, some resorted to drinking seawater in a desperate attempt at survival. Tragically, this postponed their deaths only briefly, and by the time Aisha and the two others were rescued by the Spanish Air Force on April 26, corpses lined the bottom of the boat.
For GBN News, I am Rena Pear-Thomas reporting.
In other developments today, workers of the Grenada Ports Authority, together with their union representatives, engaged in industrial action this morning to express their frustration with the managing body of the authority, citing the inability to resolve outstanding issues that date as far back as 2019. Here's Rena Pear-Thomas once again, who was on the scene this morning and filed this report.
Workers of the Grenada Port Authority did not report to their usual workstation at 8 a.m. on Monday morning as they were engaged in industrial action outside of the authority's headquarters. The workers, with the support of their union representative Tau, wore red, asserting that the recent actions undertaken by the authority are disrespectful with no regard for workers. President of the Technical and Allied Workers Union, Andrew Lewis, says one of the outstanding issues is that of money owed to recently promoted workers. He said after an investigation was held by the Public Service Commission and the Ministry of Labour on the matter, an agreement was made and accepted by the Port Authority but never fulfilled.
There's an outstanding matter in relation to Comrade Dennis Griot and others that went before the Ministry for Labour. The Labour Commissioner, together with the Department of Public Administration, investigated the matter, found in favor of the union. The union accepted the recommendation, although it was not everything that we were arguing for. The Port Authority, by way of letter dated 11th August 2021, wrote to the Labour Commissioner accepting the recommendation, thanking the Labour Commissioner for resolving the matter. And then all things seem to have just gone downhill, where they are now saying that they are no longer interested in the recommendation.
Lewis said that on numerous occasions, the union reached out to the managing body of the Port Authority to give the workers what belongs to them, but this has fallen on deaf ears. He outlined other outstanding issues that contributed to Monday's protest action.
For 2020, the bonus that were paid to the workers were below that which is normally paid. The collective agreement makes provision for discussions on the matter. We have written to the port. Up to now, they have not gotten back to us to give us an explanation for this matter.
Meanwhile, due to the protest action of the workers, operation on the Grenada Port Authority were on halt as many Grenadians were left standing in the rain waiting to collect their goods. They expressed their disgust to GBN on the matter, saying no one came to inform them of the situation at hand.
Honestly speaking, I didn't whole time I stand up here, I didn't even understand they were striking. It's just a very few minutes ago we get to understand that. And now, man, that's a very, it affected me in a very bad way because at the end of the day, look, I just stand up here in the rain. I can't get my stuff. I've been chilling home hungry. Things that happen. You understand what I'm saying?
This thing shouldn't happen at all because, I mean, it's for people that's in trouble here right about now. Right? From my opinion, I firmly believe that these people here are supposed to be frontline workers. Frontline workers because they are the ones who are receiving all the goods in the country. They should be attended to.
I mean, we just got here about an hour ago and understand that they're on strike, and no one have come and even said, well, we are having a situation, but we're trying to resolve the situation. I mean, these are human beings, and look at the day they choose to strike. On a day like today, we are here suffering, and we're only here to get our property, and it's all about the money here. I just paid $300 just to go and get my stuff in here, and then look, I can't even get my stuff. I mean, is that leadership for the people? Is that what the government do for its people? This is ridiculous, it's sad, and Grenadians have to step up and talk for their rights.
For GBN Thomas reporting.
Leader of the opposition's business in the Senate, Tessa St. Cyr, agrees with the opposition leader Tobias Clement in his classification of the 2022 budget as a Santa Claus budget. However, she warns that the terminology must not be misquoted with that of a Christmas budget. Here's Gerard Joseph with that story.
We all know that Santa Claus is a make-believe that gives hope to little children, to reward, to keep them behaving in a particular way, especially in the case of parents and grandparents.
While impressing on the imaginative aspect of Santa Claus, opposition Senator Tessa St. Cyr hints at the fanfare of bonus salaries for public workers and the drastic decrease in unemployment as areas to be further questioned.
Mr. Deputy President, public servants were elated only to later hear that government was still in the process of creating or developing a criteria, and that not all public servants would receive.
Of primary focus for Senator St. Cyr are the massive multi-million-dollar hotel projects, which offer little in terms of sustainable employment, despite the hundreds of jobs being purported in the budget to be created. The senator points to Home Unlimited, which is a 240-room luxury resort spanning 3 sites in True Blue, amounting to $60 million EC and carded for a 2022 implementation.
The Honorable Leader of Government's business stopped there. He did not continue to say that it will create employment for 12 persons when completed. The same for Star Development Limited, located in Point Celine. This 60-room luxury hotel and spa will cost $56 million EC dollars. When completed, Mr. Deputy President, will create employment for 15 persons.
Senator St. Cyr, noting the initiatives to reduce electricity bills and cap gas prices, says it begs one question, considering that this could have been done before.
So this begs the question, why now? Why now? Perhaps this is an attempt to transform the public's view of the administration. But Mr. Deputy President, John Public is paying attention, full attention.
Another issue the senator highlighted is what she sees as ambiguities in the source of funds and the amount of interest rate to be paid.
Deputy President, is that where it says interest rates, it says to be negotiated.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Noting the significant increase in the 2022 budget allocation for the electronic health information system from $22,000 to $1 million, opposition Senator Tessa St. Cyr brought to light the non-existence of government's purported electronic medical record system. The senator feels she has been vindicated after being berated for saying that there were no electronic medical records. Here's Gerard Joseph once again.
It was one of the features the Ministry of Health had boasted of, a system of electronic medical records to serve the hospitals, private practices, and pharmacies.
And I was chastised by the member on the other side for having not done my research. Lord.
Leader of opposition business in the Senate, Tessa St. Cyr, was animated as evidence which apparently proves that an electronic medical record system does not exist was found within the documents of the 2022 budget.
And the member later said, as an example, that people can get the X-ray results via email. Lord, we do not have an electronic health information system.
The issue of electronic medical records has been raised in a number of post-cabinet briefings. In 2017, the contracted company, Canadian Health System, was in Grenada conducting assessments to be followed by training on the system. Chief Executive Officer Dr. Tom Tyson at that time said they were working to ensure the security of patients' files.
In fact, we were delayed in implementing it at our end because we wanted to make sure that the secure environment being provided by the government of Grenada, which I can tell you was very secure and extremely well run, but we had to be assured of that, because at the end of the day, this is the most important record of your life, and it has to be maintained accurately, and it has to be connected, but it also has to be private.
According to the opposition senator, nothing has changed since then.
What we have, Mr. Deputy President, are components of a system. A system includes more than what is currently available. But you know what, Mr. Deputy President, I chose not to respond in.
The senator had some words of scripture, which she notes is the opportune time to respond after being chastised by a fellow senator last year.
And the Bible says to me in Proverbs 26:4-5, and I quote, "Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest you be like him. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own eyes."
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
And now to this story. A New York City man who got no prison time in Grenada after admitting that he sexually assaulted the crime in federal court in Brooklyn on Monday in a bid for leniency. Robert certainly won't get the kind of leniency he got in Grenada. The maximum penalty in the U.S. is 30 years. The dual U.S. and Grenadian citizen who lives in Brooklyn will also have to serve out just about all of his eventual sentence. There's no parole in the U.S. federal prison system. If the name sounds familiar to you, here's why. Robert traveled to Grenada in October 2019 to be ordained as a minister. While here, he reportedly forced a boy who'd been left in his care to pleasure him orally, authorities in the eastern U.S. District of New York has reported. Roberts begged forgiveness from the boy's mother in assorted text messages while pleading guilty to the crime in Grenada. A judge in the Caribbean island fined him just $1,500 and ordered him to pay $600 to cover therapy for the young victim. Those outraged by the penalty appealed to U.S. authorities. They noted that Roberts' attorney is a former member of Grenada's parliament and is married to its current legal affairs minister. One group in particular, Grenadian Women Inc., filed complaints with federal authorities in New York City. The case turned out to be a perfect fit Project Safe Childhood, a U.S. Department of Justice initiative to fight child sexual exploitation and abuse. The New York Child Exploitation Investigations Unit of Homeland Security Investigations assembled a case with assistance from the HSI Caribbean Attaché Office and the Royal Grenada Police Force. Assistant Attorney General Kenneth Polite of the Justice Department's Criminal Division, U.S. Attorney Breon Peace for the Eastern District of New York, and Acting Special Agent in Charge Rick Patel for Homeland Security Investigations, New York, according to a joint announcement today. Welcome back to the news. The Media Workers Association of Grenada has seemingly been given a new lease on its existence as a new executive has been elected into office. The elections, which were delayed due to extenuating circumstances, were held over the weekend virtually. Let's get more details in this Janelle McDonald report.
Protecting the freedom of the press, membership growth, and training opportunities are top of the list of priorities for the new executive of the Media Workers Association of Grenada, as they now seek to move the association forward. Noting the importance of participation in any organization, newly elected President Gerard Joseph says the executive will be actively engaging in a membership recruitment campaign.
In preliminary talks with the members of the executive, such a sentiment is being shared, especially in regards to the registration of radio personalities and other radio employees who have been seemingly left out of the equation. This executive will be coming to you and knocking on the doors of the various media houses, meeting with management, and fully launching a reinvigorated registration process built upon the work already completed by the interim executive.
Joseph called on media personnel to reflect and realize that they are critical to the development of the association, noting adding that active numbers factor favorable for growth.
The registration of new members is key to an initiative led by the prior executive and then interim executive in establishing a discount card program for media workers at select supermarkets and businesses. This executive will be wholly leading the charge in this regard and taking up this incentive as one of our main agenda points.
The new president also highlights that the inclusion of media veterans is vital to efforts to train and strengthen the image and quality of the fraternity.
Veteran media personnel, this is a call to you as the executive will be coming to solicit your involvement within the association, whether to assist in training or lending your wisdom as we take MWAG forward. This points to our second course of action, which will be ensuring training is offered and made available to all media workers. As president, I am officially requesting media personnel and media houses for your cooperation to ensure the objectives of the various trainings are realized.
Joseph says the long-awaited media policy sitting dormant within the offices of legal affairs and the drafting of a freedom of information bill are other areas of focus.
Such legislation will enable media personnel to produce more balanced reporting as well as really engage in investigative journalism to the level as what is witnessed in international countries.
Recognizing media personnel outside of the annual media awards is also one of the ideas the new president will be bringing to the executive. Blossom Alexis Welch was elected to the post of first vice president, Sherry Blackman Stevens second vice president, Tanya St. Louis Lawrence secretary, Sophia Phillip treasurer, and Nisha Peters as assistant treasurer secretary. For GBN News, Janelle McDonald.
COVID-19 has led to some limitations, but this did not hinder the joy of giving, especially to those most in need. Residents of 3 children's homes were gifted with age-appropriate toys to make their Christmas a bit brighter. Chrislina John has the details.
Christmas is all about giving, and Santa was in that kind of mood this past weekend as he rode out on his, local sleigh, distributing toys to children, something he is best known for. This brightened the smiles on the faces of residents of the Queen Elizabeth's, Father Mulligan, and the Bel Air homes. This initiative was organized and executed by members of the Bikers Association on the island. The president of the association is Lorenzo Celestin.
Grenada Bikers Club normally do the Christmas toys, a kind of frolic for the children from the 3 homes, the Queen Elizabeth, Bel Air home and Father Mulligan home. Due to protocols and COVID situation, we cannot actually host an event where we bring out the children and feed them, give them the gifts. So what are we doing now? We handing them the toys, just bring out the toys to the home and hand them and then keep it moving to each home.
Celestin spoke on how this initiative was realized.
Raising funds at the club normally use their resources. We get people to partner with us. Fortunately this year, COVID had worked in our behalf that we get some overseas help also. So we have local help and overseas help in attaining toys for the children this year.
Involved in other activities. In Carriacou, the association has adopted 3 schools that they provide school supplies to, as well as repainting of pedestrian crossings, also on the Sister Isles. Chrislina John, GBN News.
And now let's turn our attention to what has been creating a buzz on social media. Rena Perry-Thomas has been looking around the platforms.
News. You analyze the various topics and distill the issues as they unfold. Your distillation points matter as we're about to highlight them in our Social Buzz Report.
Government is cutting back on foreign affairs expenditure. According to Foreign Affairs Minister Oliver Joseph, no longer will Grenada hold as many physical office or embassies in countries and international organizations. GBN brought this story and you, our online audience, took to the comment section to air your views. James Comment if the selection and placement of the ambassadors were done on a non-partisan and professional manner, the benefits to Grenada would have outweighed the cost. Roger Mitchell wrote, Trinidad and Jamaica owns the building that houses their embassies. What Grenada been doing for donkey years, more than just paying for prime real estate and accomplishing nothing. Denny Joseph.
2050. That's our pledge to you. You get 20% of the purchase of 4 new tires at Premium Auto Services. And that's not all. You get an additional 50% discount on your wheel alignment. Wow! Now that's a deal. Additionally, you receive free wheel balancing service with the purchase of 2 new tires. It's a 2050 deal. Only at Premium Auto Services. Call today to place your order. 439-4000. Offer valid while stocks last.
It's the season to give, and Grenlec invites you to give a gift of love and light to someone in our community who has been challenged by COVID-19. Make your account current and nominate someone for a chance to win. 200 winners will be gifted with a $400 grocery voucher or a $75 electricity voucher. If we select your entry, you too will win. Visit our website or Facebook page for more information. Terms and conditions apply. Promotion runs November 24th to December 24th. Give a gift from Grenlec this holiday.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Fallage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Do I need to wear a mask and avoid close contact with others if I am fully vaccinated?
Thank you, and this is a very important question. The vaccines that we have against COVID-19 are very effective vaccines, and it gives a really good chance of not developing the disease. We must note that there is no vaccine that provides 100% protection for any disease. With that being said, we do expect cases of disease among people who are fully vaccinated. Though this is rare, it can happen, and we call this breakthrough infections. This is not unique to COVID-19. This doesn't mean that the vaccines aren't working. It means that not everyone who receives vaccines has 100% protection, and as a result, vaccinated persons, if they become infected, are capable of transmitting the virus to others. For these reasons, vaccinated persons must continue to practice the prevention measures like mask wearing and avoiding close contact or crowded places. So to answer your question, yes, you need to wear a mask and avoid close contact with others even if you are fully vaccinated.
Physical violence, threats, controlling behavior, and being disrespectful are no-nos in any relationship. Parenting together after a breakup can be difficult, but always speak and behave in ways you would want your children to speak and act. You cannot control what your ex-partner does, but you can control how you choose to respond to your ex and what behaviors you display to your children. Parents, display behaviors you will want your children to learn. A respectful child begins with you. Step up your parenting game. My family matters.
state-of-the-art Ultratech gasoline and diesel. Available only at Rubis stations.
Let me tell you about life, my life. You're blessed to be shared. Tell you about my life, too blessed to be shared. Yeah, God bless my life. He blessed me with love and faith. God bless my life. Right now I am living the heat. God bless my life. He blessed me with love and faith. God bless my life. Right now I am living the heat. What is life's purpose? If not to give them most high praises. As me waking at the morning, me give thanks as me to why them races. As the sun come out and the breeze them a blow, I know that I have life. Of that I am sure. The blessings of joy I can't ignore. And where I am now and where I was before. Right now my life is much more secure. Yeah. So much as sufferation that the race I go through. But to the trust and faith in the Most High, we are making through. God bless my life. He blessed me with love and faith. God bless my life. Right now I am living the heat. God bless my life. He blessed me with love and faith. God bless my life. Right now I am living the heat. Right now friends I get scarce. Just show them see how me bless. Me don't know why them boys stressing. Show them see them partner get a blessing. So long me in the struggle and a fight. Me never know them know what me do the right. Know the most high blessings that they fight for me like rain. Only for them just cut off and gone. Me know them boy bad mind from long. Me mother tell me say look out for them. Me mother say son be strong. Yeah. Cause the blessing them a flow like rain. No for them who have to see me in a pain. Me tell them boy was me friend. But right now them want my blood. We go licking at the blood. My life. He blessed me with love and faith. God bless my life. Right now I am living the heat. God bless my life. He blessed me with love and faith. God bless my life. Right now I am living the heat. So much I think we see happening out there. You know me don't understand it. The most I blessings about the pool. So why them try go around it? Take your time and love life, and then your blessing shall come. Don't try make bad mind and hypocrite make your blessings gone down. Don't try to another man. Go and go look for your own. The most I have plenty blessings for each and every man. To him get his own. Don't try judge a brother when they try work for the trader. No matter when people attack my youth, go and go look judge bless my life. He blessed me with love and faith. God bless my life. Right now I am living the heat. God bless my life. He blessed me with love and faith. God bless my life.
And that conversation comes up right about now. I say good morning and welcome back to our viewers on television and those of you that's joined us wherever you are across the region. We say thanks for being part of this broadcast right here in the morning time. Folks, Christmas is special. It's about lights, it's about colors, it's about food. And in more recent time, it has become about our friends from Rotary. Yes, more now more than ever. And this morning, they are going to continue. They have continued a tradition that we've gotten used to over the last couple of years. Christmas at the Point, yes, where literally they transform an empty and vast, not only just vast empty land, just with a few, green grass and a few benches and chains pulled across here and there, and restricted access to certain places. But when they transform it, believe me, not even Santa could recognize it. But I'm not here to talk to you about that. I'm going to invite Kelly Waldron, and Kelly's going to talk to us about all of the excitement and the anticipation that it has already started and continues. Good morning, Kelly. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Joseph. How are you?
Besides my allergies this time of the year, I'm alive. I don't even bother about it. Because I'm always grateful that I am alive.
And that's good.
And I know I could ask you, how are you doing? How's Christmas shaping?
I am good. I must say that, I'm still not sure about how Christmas is shaping up, of course, because of this whole pandemic thing. Everything is sort of just, weird and up in the air.
But it is, I say to you, it's going to be all right. And because of the uncertainty, though, we try to have to normalize this as much as possible. And that's where our wonderful friends, you and our wonderful friends in the Rotary, you're seeking to do that.
Yes, definitely.
Christmas at the Point.
This year again, we're putting on Christmas at the Point. And, it's definitely, persons who have followed Rotary and followed what they do over the holidays would have known that Rotary for the past 11 years prior to COVID, they would have done carols by candlelight. And then following that, in recent years, they started leaving the park lit so that persons can go and enjoy after the main event. And so, but because of COVID, naturally, we're not able to have the big grand concert and so on, which, persons were really looking forward to. But in the spirit of Christmas, in the spirit of even doing carols by candlelight in the first place, which was to bring families together, to really celebrate the joy of the season, which is about, family, giving, sharing, etc. The club felt it important to ensure that at least this aspect stays, in that it offers a safe space for persons and families, even during the pandemic, to be able to, get into the spirit of the holidays, spend family time together, look at past concerts of carols by candlelight, get together for family movies, just really enjoy this safe space in a magical Christmas wonderland. So it really does bring the members of the club great joy to make this happen every year. And this year, with the last lockdown, it was sort of like a rush to get it ready, but we definitely felt that it was that important. To offer some level of normalcy, that the club ensured that they made it happen this year.
Indeed, they've made it happen. You started about 2 weekends ago?
Yes, it started on December 4th and it will end on January 15th. And the Quarantine Point will be lit every Wednesday to Sunday. So that's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The lights will be off on Monday and Tuesday for maintenance purposes, but Quarantine Point Park will be open. It's just that if persons go there, they won't see the lights, but they will be able to see the light display between Wednesday and Sunday from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m.
And over the years, though, scale back as it is, it has become an entertainment piece, an attraction piece, as you said, that allows for family. What has the response been like over the last 2 weeks, though?
It has really been overwhelming in that, before we even lit the park, persons were messaging the club asking, are you doing it this year? When is it going to start? That sort of thing. So people were really expecting and anticipating this to be done because it has come become something that people really do look forward to. And they sort of now expect to be, you know, the thing that sort of launches off the Christmas season in Grenada. You know, now that schools are closed, we expect to see even more persons, you know, visiting the park. And we do encourage that because, you know, it is one of the most safer spaces to enjoy. It's open air. You know, you can maintain social distancing significantly in a park that size, you know, and all of the other COVID protocols, such as, you know, sanitization stations all over the park, you know, contact tracing, constant cleaning, you know, the social distancing, which is monitored and policed by club members and volunteers.
Right.
It can actively be monitored and maintained.
Do you get the sense, Kelly, that given the challenges of COVID, the lockdown, we haven't had much of anywhere to go for the last couple of months, that there was this growing anticipation and excitement, you know what? We need the lights. We just need something different that allows us a sense of calm and a sense of peace?
Yeah. Yes, you definitely do. This is just something that, you know, this year has been really difficult. You know, even though the club has kept doing its various works in the communities, because of COVID, it has not been able to do its typical like fundraising, and so which would typically go back into a number of its projects. So it has been difficult all around, but you know, this is happening. We've made it happen. There's only a small entry fee which goes towards maintaining the lights and so on. And that is $10 EC for a carload, and you get to park down on the peninsula of Quarantine Point. And then there's limited priority parking, which is really close to the lights on the right as you enter the park. And that's for people, you know, who would prefer to be closer to the lights, persons who maybe some members of their family would, you know, prefer or need easier access. So we have limited number of those tickets, which are 20 EC. And then, of course, persons can, you know, pay at the door, $2 EC per person for walk-ins. And the tickets are super easy to acquire. You can get them from gotofet.com, which is online. And you can, you know, book your tickets in advance because the numbers to the park are being controlled at all times so that there are, you know, we don't go over the limited capacity of Quarantine Point. They can also be purchased at Grenadian Optical in Denver Street, St. George's, and Spiceland Mall. Or you can also pay at the door. But we do encourage persons, particularly if you're looking like for priority parking and, you know, etc., that you buy your tickets in advance because, you know, persons with tickets will be given first priority for entry to the park on any such night that, let's say, numbers are a concern.
Refreshments available on either of those nights? Is there?
There's always refreshments available at the park. So there's a fully stocked bar that has drinks for both, you know, kids and adults, including wine. And there's also Candyland. There's specialty food. So there's different vendors selling food. And then you also have a lot of other attractions that are at the park. So in addition to, you know, as I would have mentioned, the Candyland, which is for kids, there's the snow zone, you know, we have s'mores, you know, we have, there's certain things that will be coming up soon where persons can like reserve a picnic spot. Persons can get like packages, for example. So there are nights when they can get discounts on wine, like on Wednesday nights, for example, it's Wine Wednesdays, so they can get a package with wine and glasses to really just, you know, make the evening special. And then there are other things that are done in between. So persons are encouraged to follow the event page because, you know, it's just little pop-up things that are going to happen. So for example, tomorrow night, which is Wednesday night, there will be Jenny J and Aixa performing. It's solo, not a huge band, it's solo acts, but, they're always very entertaining. On Thursday, there's Zorina, for example, but persons really need to follow the event page or follow the Rotary page to, to find out what's happening on any particular night, because it's going to be little surprises here and there. So if they want to get in on the surprises, if they want to know when Santa is going to be there, if they want to know when there are going to be acts, if they want to know what time it'll be snowing at Quarantine Point, then they need to definitely follow the pages.
I would try to follow I link up with the Met Office every day, so I would pay attention to them when they say it's actually going to snow. Hopefully that may give me a little bit of guide as to what is. Yes. So, I mean, Kelly, so whether you go just for curiosity or you go to enjoy the spectacle of the lights, and I particularly like the spirals, the overhead ones, as you get into the entrance, that seems to be the most, well, for me, the most fascinating of all.
Yeah, persons have different ones that they like. The tunnel, the sparkling tunnel of lights is definitely a favorite by many, and we've seen umpteen photos with persons in the entrance, which really is a spectacle. But then the kids really like the inflatable lights. So, there's the inflatable lights with Santa and the reindeer and, the castle and, that sort of thing, the North Pole and so on. And, the kids really, really love those ones. And then, but I think for me, what I really like is actually seeing the trees lit up. There's just something really, really special and magical about, like standing under the trees with the draping lights and so on. There's that is, I think, for me, is my favorite.
Is it one of those trees that has a mistletoe, and you probably had one of those mistletoe experience? Don't laugh, Kelly. That's a serious question.
I personally haven't, but I'm sure there are a number of persons who probably did.
The look on your face seems to give it away. I wouldn't pressure you beyond measure at all. So the activities on the prescribed days starts at what time again?
The park always opens at 5, and the lights turn on at 5:30, 6 o'clock, or just as it gets dark. And then the music starts if there are music performances, it would start at 7. Movies would, typically start at either 5:30 or 6 o'clock. It depends on, what the itinerary is for the night. But generally, movies would have started by, like 6 or thereabouts, 5:30, sorry. So it's really, persons should really look at the schedule. Definitely most of the entertainment aspects, if you want to call it that, will happen a bit earlier in the evening. Just so because we're catering to families, persons have work next day, so we, or even on the weekends, you have kids and so on, who you tend not to want to have out necessarily too late if you have young kids. So we tend to, start the entertainment, relatively early, definitely by 6 o'clock. Things will be starting and ramping up, and then so that persons can, really enjoy the park, and most of the entertainment would be done by about 10 o'clock, 10:30 to, give the staff and so time to close up the park and get home.
A good event that would attract friends, family. There would probably always be the concern about security. While you at it, somebody says the park looks so beautiful. For protocol, this is done there. It is worth every penny. And that's a comment that's coming via the social media portal. It's worth every penny.
Thank you very much. Yes, it's really just a small fee to maintain the lights, and you really do. Everything in the park is priced like exceptionally well in terms of being really cost effective, and it's done so that persons can really just come out. Even if you have a limited budget, you can really come out and actually enjoy this experience multiple times.
As you make mention of budget, can I get a seasonal pass?
That is something we're working on, actually. That's a very good question. So we are working on that at the moment in terms of some of the packages that we'll put together. Right. And those will hopefully be launched by next week so that persons could have season tickets up until the end of the season. But yeah, there will be definitely a few packages that will be coming out, and persons can capitalize on those things.
Definitely a few packages, and we can only assume as we inch closer to the holidays that the excitement is going to ripen. But I'm assuming you're going to hold those cards close to your chest so that you don't give away too much of the anticipation.
Yes, right now, all I can say is that we're working on them, and as soon as we have them ready, we will put them out there, and persons who are interested can definitely take advantage of any sort of specials, offers, season passes, etc.
Would there be accommodations in eventuality that the weather doesn't quite cooperate?
Well, the thing is that the tickets can always be reused, with the exception of, let's say, the priority parking, in which case, if, for example, persons weren't able to go to the park because of inclement weather on a particular night, right, then we'll be willing to extend use of the priority parking passes to another night. But the regular tickets, you can use it at any point.
But I say, let's walk with your umbrella. That's the fun of it, though. Pretend it's going to rain. Just pretend it's going to rain, and just prepare yourself for an evening, an hour or two with the kids outdoor, having a little bit of s'mores, and just enjoying the ambience of it and everything else.
Yes, well, definitely. There is something for everyone. I personally am not a cold person, so anything to do with the cold, I tend to cuddle up under a blanket. Right. But that is to say that, I've done a number of things in the rain, and something like, caroling in the evening, when it's, a little bit damper than usual, and, right, you come to family and so on, you're singing your Christmas carols, and then you're enjoying your s'mores and so on. There's something very appealing about that.
Is there going to be a hot chocolate stand?
We have a number of them. No, definitely. Well, persons who know me know that I like to dance. So believe me, I have danced in the rain.
Kelly says she's danced in the rain.
It's very liberating and freeing, actually.
Wow, I'll leave that there. Be dancing in the rain. No. Me and allergies and the rain getting wet, it messes me up altogether.
You should try.
I'm one of the allergies. Well, I think the head wouldn't mind at all. I could probably. It was a good time. I have nothing to worry about having to dry up on top anyway. It probably just bounce up as a calorie. But besides that, security. In case persons are concerned with their family, is there going to be the presence of police or private security guards just to keep people safe? The feeling of safety?
Yes, there are security guards on site, and the park is actually often police would stop by periodically throughout the evening. And Quarantine Point generally tends to be a very safe space, and not to mention there are a number of club members and volunteers throughout the park. So persons, it's one of the places that are really, really, safe, family friendly, that persons don't need to necessarily worry about, their safety in that sense.
That is true. And certainly you want to remind persons that all COVID-19 protocols, you expect them to be enforced.
We don't expect them to be enforced. They are enforced, and we expect persons to cooperate.
Yes.
You're coming into this space, and there are certain rules and there's certain guidelines, and we expect everyone who is coming into this space to adhere to the rules of safety, not just for themselves, but for other people as well. You should respect, persons' right or their wish for safety. And definitely, persons entering the park, they must have a mask on entry.
Right.
They must sanitize before entering the park. They must do contact tracing upon entering the park.
Okay.
walking around the park, they must wear their masks. The only time they don't necessarily have to wear their mask is when they're in their social distancing pods on the grass, which is where persons can, we've marked out these areas where persons can sit as a group.
Okay.
And they're distant, so persons, there's no ambiguity about where persons should sit, how they should sit, etc. That there are clearly marked areas where persons are clearly able to sit, whether it is as a group, it's an individual, a couple.
Right.
There are a number of these pods all over the park, not to mention there are park benches, and so that persons can also use, and those aren't shared either. All of those common spaces are sanitized at all times, including the washrooms. So for persons who didn't know, Quarantine Point actually has washrooms down there now. So that you can use proper bathrooms, you can wash your hands, etc. afterwards. So in terms of persons feeling, whether it is they would be able to wash their hands and so throughout the night, that it's not an issue at this stage. And then of course in addition to all of the lights, there are also security lights at Quarantine Point. So in terms of safety, it's generally covered from all angles.
And I think just by virtue of the natural setting, it just creates a perfect spectacle under the starlight.
Yes, it definitely does.
If you get a little sprinkle every now and again, that's okay. I suggest you walk with your umbrellas. If you're worried about it, that it may not be hot chocolate, I suggest walk with yours just in case. A little bit of starlight, a little bit of rain, friends and family, a little light wine.
Friends and family, a little light wine, entertainment for the kids, which is really, really important, and which is a good thing because, the kids have their areas, and so where they play and they go wild, and you don't really necessarily need to worry about keeping your kids entertained because the entertainment is all right there and ready and waiting for them.
I can't remember. Did we say anything about Santa's Grotto? Did we say anything about that?
No, we didn't, but there is a Santa's Grotto. That is where Santa would usually be. But Santa would only be there on select nights.
Yes, we did mention that. So
Santa's Grotto is where we do have, the bar, and so is also there.
Right.
In Santa's Grotto, but there's a space where Santa would typically be, and once Santa is at Quarantine Point, that is the area where he'd be, and you can't miss it. It's this big red building on entry.
Folks, and if you're not sure if Santa's going to be there, whenever he has to leave home, he speaks with me. So you can always ask JC, and I'll let Kelly knows exactly when Santa is going to be making his. Folks, just go out. It's been a difficult year. You would agree, Kelly. It's been a really difficult year. And certainly any occasion as we march on towards 2022, I think any occasion that people get, just to thaw out, to relax, to chillax. You know what? Because come next year, we never know what is it we have to face. Let's just get a chance to kick back and relax now.
Yeah, no, definitely. You never know. And, in the club doing this as well, I should really mention the sponsors who really helped make this happen. Because without them, we won't be able to do a number of things that we do at the park. And that includes Netherlands Insurance, Flow, Grenada Cooperative Bank, Grenada Bottling. There are so many other sponsors, LL Ramdani, True Value, and so on that, support this event every year. And, without their support, and it's due to their support as well that we're able to bring this to persons every year, and definitely that we're able to bring it this year.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, feel a lot like Christmas. Alistair said this should give every Grenadian who have never had the mistletoe experience a chance to enjoy it. I wonder if he's throwing that for you, Kelly. Because you heard me ask you about it. Yeah, why not?
I don't know. Maybe for you, Joseph.
No, I realize you're trying to get me to commit to something here at national TV. Don't try that, Kelly.
Yeah. I noted the pause and the stutter there.
Yeah. I had to remind myself. Anyway, Kelly, thanks a lot. I'm looking forward to link up with you one of these days when I do get down there. I'm certainly encouraging each and every Grenadian, make it an occasion for the season. Get some friends, family, carpool. That's an important element. It's good to carpool as well, because if they come in as a pool, they pay $10, right?
Yes, they get paid $10, and they basically, they get to stay together, so they get to their social distancing pods together.
Right. Come with your clan, stay with your clan, leave with your clan, and make sure, of course, you don't want to, of course, know that. Keep the place clean, sanitize, do what you have to do. Thanks a lot, Kelly. All the best to you, my dear. You take care.
My pleasure. Thank you, Joseph.
Take care. All the best to you. It is 14 minutes on to the hour in the morning time. Check out the Point, Christmas at the Point. Go have yourself some really, 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 really nice and clean fun. We take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Introducing the Grenlec mobile app. You can now get your bill balance and easily track energy usage for your home or business. Report and receive alerts about power outages. Plus, stay up to date by receiving the latest notifications. Yes, the Grenlec app keeps you connected anytime, anywhere.
You're already ill and have no time or energy to walk every which way to access your healthcare needs. So come to Spice Isle Imaging on the Carenage for a one-spot stop for all your health service needs. See our in-house doctor and get your meds from the pharmacy right on location. Digital X-ray, MRI, CT scans, mammography, ultrasound and laboratory services are also available. So for that moment when life makes demands on you, you can make demands on us. Visit us at Spice Isle Imaging, Carenage, St. George's.
Once upon a time, we shopped at Wonderland, then Neverland. But we're all grown up now and no longer believe in fairy tales. So now we just shop at Shoes R Us. At Shoes R Us, we stock the latest in shoes, tops, and jeans for the fashion-conscious lady. We also carry colognes and much, much more. And for the modern trendy male, we have the latest brand name shoes and sneakers, Converse, Reebok, Nike, K-Swiss, Puma, and much more. So check us out at our two convenient locations, Melville Street in St. George and Ben Jones Street in Granville. At Shoes R Us, we say, come shop with us.
Let's get tough on breed, larceny. It will destroy our economy. Larceny threatens our food security. Can hurt us locally, hurt us globally. To all the buyers, ask for license from all produce sellers. To all the people, 100 for police for them thieving fellas. To all the families, don't steal produce from your brother. Then you sell it to traffickers, hotels and street vendors. Nah, man. Let's do all we can to stop radio larceny. New vigilance, new laws, and a tough judiciary. Stop Grenada's organized business crime. It's time.
To report radio larceny, call 300.
Thank you. Welcome back to the program. We into our final 5 minutes with you. It's 10 minutes onto the hour in the morning time. Mikey, if you do get a chance, and we could probably just show some folks what the point has looked like in the past. So Mike is going to work on that for me. By the way of information, today being the 14th, well, It's expected. Well, it's raining, so it's expected to be. But there is no cruise ships no ships making any port calls, any calls today. However, there are 2 ships tomorrow, the 15th. And we tell you what they are going to be. There's the Celebrity Equinox is one of them, and Aida Perla. So they're expected to make their port calls tomorrow. And so just reminding you as to what the protocols that are engaged when the cruise ships are in regarding the Esplanade Mall. Yes, there's normally restrictive arrangement that allows that tries to ensure that there's no commingling of the tourist visitors with the local. That's in the Esplanade Mall. However, the Bruce Street side of the mall. So while we're at it, for those of you that we can just look at it on television, for those of you that's on television, that's just a little bit of some old footage, but that's the tunnel, the entrance that we actually, Kelly and I, we were talking about, and it gave a nice aerial view as to what the park actually looks like. Certainly, looking at it gives you a really, really appreciation that you can just go there, spend some time with the family. I think what's going to be particularly exciting with this one, with the parks that allows for the social distancing. Remember Kelly was talking about the lighting of the trees and everything else, Santa's Grotto, the excitement that goes with it, the colors and everything. It's a nice, wide open area, and certainly you can feel free to make your arrangements to go down to the park on those specific days. Take the family, carpool, go together, and just enjoy it. If whenever you're going, make allocations for the weather as well, because just in case the weather actually challenges us. So we're going back to port calls. There's going to be ships in tomorrow. There's also going to be a ship in on Thursday. The Norwegian Epic is going to be in on Thursday, and on Friday there's expected to be at least 2 ships in. So keep that in mind. But I was saying to you that when those ships are in, for the purpose of limiting, the intermingling between the visitors and locals, the cruise ship, the Esplanade Mall, is normally restricted to non-vaccinated persons. And I know there's a varied conversations about that. I have my own personal thoughts on it. But certainly you must be aware that the Bruce Street side of the mall, which is the biggest side of the mall anyway, and most people seem to think it's just one mall. There's 2 separate malls. The washroom facilities, if you are in town, it is accessible as well. It is accessible, but today there's no ships in today, so it will be a regular day. But on all the other days, in case you want to access the washroom facilities, whatever the case might be, you access it through the other side. On the Ariza side, you can access it through the car park. That's by the barber shop or whatever you want. There's options there just to keep yourself in the know. Folks, it is a really, really, really wet day on the outside. You don't need to tell me about it. When it gets that wet, you know what? I'm one of those guys. It can't get too wet or too dry, because literally I feel that my body goes into a different place and time with my allergies. And so certainly if you have to leave home, the kids, those of you that's home, a lot more gifts and fun for you, opportunities to win today on Tis the Season. The kids segment and the little food detective. They're going to be on, and the kids get a chance to win a whole lot of prizes. Folks, this is as far as I can take you for now. For those of you, wherever you are, we say thanks for being part of it. We continue to count down 14 days. It is 11 days, and counting before Christmas, and certainly you want to go out and plan it as best as you can. The second test, second T20, West Indies versus where are we? Yes, West Indies versus Pakistan, and that match starts in just under a minute, just under an hour and 5 minutes. So we certainly here will continue to keep you and follow what's happening for you. Yes, and that is my plan, my promise to you. Yep. We're looking ahead, and when you look at the rest of the series, there is the T20, there's ODI, and this series is going to take us late into December. Folks, all good things must come to an end. I have to leave you for now. 5 minutes on to the hour. Reminding you at the top of the hour, we'll be joined the BBC for a bulletin of news. I'll be back with you on television at 9 o'clock. On to the point. My guest this morning from the Royal Grenada Police Force would be Officer ASP Superintendent Sarah. What's his name? Trevor Rodney will be joining us from the Community Relations Department. That's the plan for To The Point at 9 o'clock. Until then, so long, everybody. JC loves you. And by the here for now, I'm reminding you that the second T20 that's between Pakistan and the West Indies. It starts in just under 1 hour. So long.